NFL mailbag time. If you want to get your questions on the show, the ways you got to do it, hashtag NFL or Super Chat, and you got to hit that big red button that says subscribe. Tom Downey and I are going to be walking through these questions, going to be answering them to the best of our ability. If we miss your question, you can always hit us up. I'm on Instagram, Mitchell Renz 365. He's on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. The DMs are open for a reason. First one's coming in from Dman Dooney. Wow, McGlinchey 2022-2023. Can you update a version of each team's?
4 firsts and a second and a third and McGlinchey and for Deshaun Watson. Strong offer, Mitch. That's a strong offer. Probably too much, frankly, but it's a good way to try and get Deshaun Watson, and I think we'll do some more Deshaun Watson videos too, my man.
All right, this one's from That's Lit Gaming. Who do you think the Bengals get in the draft? I think is basically where you're trying to go. Penei Sewell or Jamar Chase?
Depends on what they do in free agency.
Correct.
If they haven't addressed the offensive line, it must be Sewell.
If he's there.
Of course, if he's there. If you've taken care of the offensive line, I'm down with Chase. Frankly, I'd probably go Penei Sewell round 1 and get a receiver in round 2. Like maybe someone like a Rondell Moore or Rashard Bateman could be there. Or even Terrace Marshall, the other LSU receiver, could be there for the Bengals later on in the draft.
Bam Troll. What up, Bam Troll? This was actually the first person that commented when we scheduled the video at like 2:50 p.m. today, Central Time. Who do you like if the Vikings drafted Zach Wilson or Rashawn Slater?
Well, Zach Wilson's not going to be there for Minnesota, so cross him off the list. He's gone way before that.
Yeah.
Rashawn Slater, though, if he's there, I like that. One is your left guard between him and Ezra Cleveland. The other is your left tackle. You're in good shape there.
Jason, you're next up here on NFL Daily. If you had the option between Tyson Campbell and Asante Samuel Jr., who do you pick? I think I know where you're going to go.
Okay, where am I going to go?
You're going to go Asante.
Yeah, you're right. If you're an organization that needs or demands length and height, then you're going to go Tyson Campbell. If you don't need to value that, and if you just want the best football player, give me Asante Samuel. So if you're an outside, if you're going to play him on the outside, probably got to play zone. Nickel, he can play man or zone. If you play one of those two styles, he makes sense for you.
Question coming in now from Ross Franklin. Love the show. What cornerback could the Falcons sign? Ross, I don't know if you're new around here, but if you are, go check out our Falcons channel, chatsports.com/FalconsTV. All right, Tom, you're the draft guy. You're also free agency, doing a lot more stuff for the Falcons channel. What do you think?
It depends on how much money they have available. If they want to throw money at a promising young corner, can I interest you in a William Jackson from the Bengals or Shaquille Griffin from Seattle?
Yes, you can.
A.J. Terrell's going to be one starter for them. There's your other outside guy. If you want a more veteran player, Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman makes some sense. Don't know how much of a fit Sherman is for this defense. You would have been a great fit if Dan Quinn was still there, of course.
Yep.
Desmond King is a nickel option. Do you want to get a free agent nickel and then draft another number 2 corner? That could be a path. So they're going to be in an interesting spot. I do wonder if in the end the Falcons look towards the draft again due to having not that much cap space to try and get a new number 2 corner to pair with A.J. Terrell long term.
All right, Tom. How many corners then are drafted in the round 1 this year? How many cornerbacks do you think are drafted
Guaranteed
this year?
3. Surtain, Farley, J.C. Horn are all going in round 1. I think at least one more gets in. I don't know who it is. I'll put the over-under at 4.5.
4.5.
4.5 corners this year. I might lean towards the under. I'm not sure yet.
I'm probably going to take the under. I thought you were going to say 3.5.
I think at least somebody else sneaks in. So there's 4, so I wanted to go higher. You know?
All right. So how many corners are drafted in round 1 this year? Let us know in the comment section. This one's coming in from Shanab. What up, my man? Broncos signed Richard Sherman, re-signed Simmons, and K-Jack. Draft Surtain, signed William Jackson. New no-fly zone. Can this happen?
I hate it because you have invested. I signed Simmons, of course.
Yes.
You know, you keep Kareem Jackson. There's one of your safeties. You're going to keep. So, yeah, you have your 2 safeties locked in. Now your cornerback room is Richard Sherman, Patrick Surtain, Michael Ojemudia. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. I always get it wrong for some reason. And Bryce Callahan. And William Jackson's on your team, too. So, you can't play all those guys.
Yeah.
So, there's no reason to pay massive money to Sherman and Jackson and then draft Surtain. Do one of those 3 things, and you're set at corner.
Got a special deal going on today's show. If you need a new hat, we got you covered here. So, go to chatsports.com/hat sale, where all NFL hats at that link are under $30. Some of them are actually as low as $5.99. So, Some of the hats that I saw were more like these beanie styles here, Tom, where they're originally $25. Actually, there was like 5 Broncos beanies under $7.
Wow,
I was like, oh
good
my
deal.
Lord, it's incredible. But if you are more fan of a trucker hat, curve bill, flat bill, snapback, beanie, it's cold out, we got you covered here. Go to chatsports.com/hat sale. It's pretty simple, and if you're a hat guy, hey, we can rep your team. All 32 teams available, all different sizes as well, for literally any single person out there.
I don't need the beanie anymore because it went from 0 degrees to 70 degrees in less than a week in
literally
Dallas.
100 degrees hotter in Dallas, Texas this week than what it was last week. Absolutely mind-blowing. But seriously, though,
That's wrong, but okay.
how is it wrong?
It's not 100 degrees out, Mitch.
But real feel.
Okay, that's different. Feels like is very different than temperature.
It felt like minus 20. It's like 70, 80 degrees here.
Okay.
I don't know. It's hot. Chatsports.com /hat sale. We got awesome deals. Hats as low as $5.99. All right, this one's coming in from Timothy Mullen. Do the Chargers have a legitimate shot at challenging the Chiefs? Also, which last place finished team has the best chance to finish first in their division next year? All right, it's pretty interesting. Do they have a chance to beat the Chiefs? Sure. I mean, I think any
they
team
can compete with them.
I mean, if Justin Herbert can take another step forward, they need to continue to build that defense, stay healthy. I mean, we've saw the Chiefs struggle this year actually against 2 teams. The 2 teams were the Raiders and actually the Chargers. The Chargers should have beat them earlier on in the season, but kind of fell apart near the end. In terms of challenging them from a week-to-week basis or 1-week basis, yes. Winning the AFC West, no. I'm still going to say it's the Chiefs, and it's pretty easy for me.
As for worst to first teams, you've got the Jets, and we can cross them out. The Broncos,
nope,
probably not. The Bengals, probably not. The Jags, I don't think so. I think in reality the NFC offers your best possibility. The Niners, Eagles, Falcons, and Lions. Mitch.
Okay, fair enough. So how about this then? Let's settle this debate here. Out of the teams that finished last in the NFC in terms of their division, so 49ers, West, Eagles, East, Falcons, South, Lions, North, which team do you think is going to be the best team in 2021? If you think it's going to be the 49ers, type SF.
I'm typing in SF.
Eagles, PHI. Falcons, ATL. Lions, DET. Go down in the comments, let us know. I think we would all agree it's probably going to be San Francisco, and as soon as I say that, seeing a lot of DETs, but that's also from Seahawks fans, so that doesn't really surprise me. All right, Evan Hughes, you're next up here. Should the Seahawks trade up for Penei Sewell?
I mean, you're not getting him.
I mean, they don't have any picks in the first round.
Even if you were to offer all of your picks this year, you would maybe get to like pick 35. So unless you're giving up significant players like a DK Metcalf, a Russell Wilson, you're not getting Penei Sewell. There's no way to get to
I'm trying to
number
think of
5.
a trade, and I can't.
There isn't. Even if you were to move Jamal Adams, I don't think you can get to number 5 overall. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's go to Rashard Lee here. Dak to the Saints. I mean,
if he hits the open market, that makes a lot of sense. Because in a year, the Saints cap space will look a whole lot better. They can get creative with the way they structure a deal because that's what they've always done. And to go from Drew Brees to Dak Prescott, man, Sean Payton would love that. Not that Dak's like an upgrade over Prime Brees or anything, but that's a lot better than Taysom Hill.
All right, Sam Reese, you're next up here. If the Dolphins trade back to pick number 8, who would they draft? So this is pretty interesting. I know there's been a lot of trade rumors around the Dolphins potentially trading back, and I am team that they should trade back. Who do you think that they could get at pick number 8?
Insert receiver here. One of Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, and
you would take Jalen
Smith.
Waddle number 8?
If I traded back, he was best receiver left, yes, I would.
Okay.
As long as I trust his medical, he's awesome.
Okay.
Like, I love Jalen Waddle. There's a real infraction to make him the number 1 receiver in this year's class. All 3 of those guys are special. If I get one at 8 and I trade down, I'm feeling pumped.
All right, how many trades happened in the first round in 2021? Go down to the comments and let us know. So there was 4 trades that happened in round 1 last year. 6 happened in 2019. So I guess I'm going to set the over-under at 5?
5 is fair.
5.5?
I think I'm going to go over this year.
I think there's going to be a lot this year.
I said that last year, too, and I was wrong. I just wonder if there are going to be some skittish teams because of the way the college football year went down, no combine, pro days being weird. I wonder if there will be some skittish teams who trade out altogether.
Justin Tanius, Eagles. All right, so if the Eagles WNAT quarterback competition with Fitzpatrick.
If the Eagles want quarterback, what about Fitzpatrick?
I think it makes sense.
I think he might be trying to go to a team with a better path to playing time.
I'm with you.
Because he wants to play. I think that was made pretty clear by his comments in Miami. If he goes to Philly, he knows Hurts is going to get a chance.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he would try to go to a team like maybe the Bears, for example, or
Washington or the Bears, I think, make the most sense.
Or New England even.
Oh, yeah.
Could make some sense.
New England.
To complete the AFC East tour.
All right, we got JB_97. What round does Sam Ehlinger go?
Late
5?
day 3.
Okay,
probably
you're saying
5.
late?
Probably 5 is his earliest.
Okay.
He just doesn't have the physical upside you want, but I think he can be a long-term NFL backup guy.
Kyle Bayliss, Juju to the Giants. Rumors have started.
I think it makes sense. They're probably going to cut Golden Tate.
They better.
And you have Darius Slayton to be one of your outside guys.
Sure.
Then you look at the rest.
Sterling Shepard healthy?
Maybe.
You have Evan
so
Ingram.
You're looking for another option. This would fill one of their biggest needs. I think it makes some sense.
Continue to build around Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Got to figure out what you got.
Well, I mean, you're going to. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just going to let that one go.
All right, Emanuel Hardy, Deshaun Jackson to the Chiefs.
I don't hate it.
I mean, they love speed.
They're going to add a receiver this offseason.
Sure.
Because I don't think Sammy Watkins come back.
He shouldn't.
And Mecole Hardman has not been what they wanted out of him.
I mean,
So-
this move makes the most sense for Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. Go win a title.
But, I mean,
Maybe.
how much money, though? Like,
Not much.
that's the
$5 million
issue.
max.
See, I feel like he's going to want more.
He ain't getting more.
He shouldn't get more.
And not with his age and injury history. Frankly, 5's probably way too much for him.
Okay, I'm
so
with
you lose Sammy. You keep you probably lose DeMarcus Robinson as well. You bring in Deshaun Jackson, who knows Andy Reid very well. I think it makes some sense.
All right, Peter, you're next up here on today's NFL Mailbag. Who should the Packers go for in free agency or draft other than a receiver? Any chance Packers tag and trade Jones for a decent 2 wide receiver? If so, who do you think they could get?
Don't get your hopes up for an Aaron Jones type of tag and trade. I think that's pretty darn unlikely. In terms of other moves for Green Bay, I think you have to look interior offensive line and offensive line in general. You have Elton Jenkins.
Even right tackle. They let go of Ricky Wagner.
Yeah, they did. Now, I think that they'll be okay at offensive tackle because you have Billy Turner played pretty well as a starter somewhere on the offensive line and kind of did everything, right? If David Bakhtiari comes back, then you're fine at tackle. If you have Elton Jenkins, that's one of your guards. Lane Taylor's a free agent. Lucas Patrick actually played pretty well.
Lindsley's also a free agent.
Center's a free agent. So do you want to go cheap, get Alex Mack maybe for short term? J.J. Watt makes sense as a defensive lineman, and I'm looking linebacker too to help replace Christian Kirksey.
John Olton, get a picture. If the Bears sign Allen Robinson, who is a realistic quarterback to get? Trade for Darnold, anyone in free agency, or trade up for Mac Jones in the draft?
Kind of hate the idea of trading up for Mac Jones in the draft, but I get it because you're
Would
desperate.
you rather trade for Sam Darnold or trade up for Mac Jones?
I would do the one that would cost me the least amount of draft capital short-term, long-term, because I'm unconvinced either is going to be the guy you truly want at quarterback.
I'm with you.
I think Mac Jones is someone that I'd feel better about for the next 4 years. I also think he just might end up being Jimmy Garoppolo, where he's good, but you're always trying to find a way to upgrade him just a little bit. And I don't think Darnold's the guy. And in the end, for the Bears, I don't want to let Ryan Pace make my decision. I don't want him to sink a bunch of stuff into it.
Next question coming in from, I guess, J-Wad. Should the Chiefs sign Patrick Peterson?
Sure, if they can afford him.
Yeah.
The Chiefs' cornerback situation is pretty interesting. L'Jarius Sneed, awesome find for them. Obvious sleeper success there.
Where do you think Peterson goes? I have an idea where I think he goes.
Okay, where?
Tampa.
They don't have a screaming need at corner, but
The Bruce Arians
connection, it makes sense, right?
Where do free agents go to try to win a Super Bowl? They go with Tom Brady.
Okay, like 2 of them did it last year, but whatever. It was totally overblown. Back to the Chiefs. Rashard Breeland's a free agent. A big-time upgrade going from Patrick Peterson, who's not on his prime anymore, over Breeland. Travarius Ward's a free agent. Maybe DeAndre Baker's a piece. So I think it makes some sense. It'll just come down to the money aspect of it.
If you got a question, you want to get it on the show, subscribe and join our live mailbags every Monday and Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Now, right now we got 500 people watching us live. If for some reason we couldn't get your question answered, well, you could always hit Tom and I up. I'm on IG at Mitchell Renz 365. He's on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. But join us for our live shows. We enjoy doing them, and we enjoy being able to interact and see what you guys are thinking. So the link is down below. It's also going to be in the description and in the comments. I'm going to be looking for you. So make sure you join us our next live show on Monday. All right, we got Teresi, Basin, Farley, or Surtain? I don't know.
I like Caleb Farley the most.
Never met a Therese.
Now,
I guess.
he hasn't played that much corner. He was a receiver initially, but I think the upside that he brings, his size, his
athleticism,
athletic ability, his production in terms of ball skills, it's a lot to turn down. Now, he's still got some technique stuff to work through, but he hasn't played that much corner. I would take Farley. That's my guy.
Shaun Conley, you're next up here. Should the Chargers trade pick number 13 for Orlando Brown?
A lot to give up. I would wonder if they would just rather take Rashawn Slater or Christian Darrisaw. I think that might be a better path for LA.
I actually think the team most likely to give up their first-round pick is actually Miami because they have pick number 3. You give up pick number 18 for Orlando Brown, play right tackle or play left tackle, whatever he wants to do.
He wants to get paid.
He wants to get paid
tackle,
like a left tackle.
I'd say no, though, for LA.
Let's go to Dom Towney. Seattle gets Sherman, let Carson and KJ walk, sign Jamal Williams, draft Dickerson, minors. All right. There's a lot going on there,
yeah.
Tom.
I'll go rapid fire here, right? So I don't think you need to draft Dickerson and Marins. Those are both centers, especially when you're already going to sign Corey Linsley, too. That's probably unlikely there. And if you're signing Joe Tooney, you need 2 of those guys out of the 4 you mentioned.
You see whose idea this is?
Yeah, it's Ritual Menz's idea.
Sounds
tag
like
Griffin. Okay, that's fine. I like the idea of extending Dunlap. I like the Jalen Darden pick selection. Jamal Williams is fine. I think you just got to condense those offensive line moves. If you whittle those down a little bit and make some more money available, it makes some sense.